Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Simple Steps to Online Success. And I am your host, Deanna Fenton. And those of you who have watched this show with, any degree of regularity, know that it's not always just about Kajabi. What I like to do is share with you the tools that I find along the way. And I like to also give you updates because I've actually spoken about this particular tool before, but I'm finding new ways to use it and sharing with you today how I used it in my recent launch and some of the things that I learned that I am going to do differently with this tool in the future, just so you know. So I hope you're enjoying this. If you are watching on the replay, thank you so much. I know it's not always convenient to catch these things live, so it's always a great opportunity to know that you're watching it later on. So if you would just put hashtag replay in the comments, I would appreciate it. And whether you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, feel free to ask any questions in the comments. You know, it's especially fun when you do it live because I'm able to show your question on the screen, which is always a lot of fun. But even if you are watching on the replay and you hear me say something or you're not quite sure how I did something, or you want to share your experience with a tool like VideoAsk also, that would be fantastic. So if you don't mind 1 second, one of these days I'm going to be much more organized. No. I'm just double checking that I'm live in the groups. StreamYard, yep, I'm live in the groups. StreamYard is what I use to go live, and I'm probably due for an update talking about StreamYard as well, because I know that there have been a lot of problems with going live on Facebook in groups, especially lately. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, I haven't had any problems with StreamYard. It seems as though everything goes. I can see right now, I can see the Facebook captions are rolling. So it's been working really well and very consistent. So that makes me feel really good. It's a worthwhile investment if you go live, especially everybody says, well, can't you go live natively in Facebook? And you definitely can. The reason why I like StreamYard, a couple of reasons. The main one is I can do both direct to camera like this and do screen sharing and bring on up to 10 people live on screen, which you can't really do those things in Facebook. In Facebook, you either go direct to camera or screen sharing, and I believe you can only have one person on live with you at a time. I don't even use Facebook natively, so I don't even know. The other beauty that I really like, and hopefully some of you are watching from these other locations, is I can also go live on YouTube at the same time. I can do my Facebook page, my Facebook groups, my profile, although I don't use my profile for this. And if I was only approved for LinkedIn Live, I could go live on LinkedIn at the exact same time. So that's the beauty to me of StreamYard. Plus, I've got cool things like banners. Hello, there we go. Banners, shows my name. I can have my lower thirds. I can do my own branding. I've got my logo, soon to be replaced. I updated my logo, actually, so that we need to update that. And there are just a lot of beautiful options. So, and this is the one thing. Yes, you really do need to try StreamYard. I'm not sure who you are, because Facebook's privacy policy prevents StreamYard from showing your Facebook profile and your name unless you click the link in the live post. Oh, it's Catherine. Awesome. So good to have you, Catherine. So they don't, Facebook privacy prevents StreamYard from showing it unless you give StreamYard consent. So that's it. But this is, again, one of the advantages of why I really like StreamYard is we could do stuff like this and engage together on screen. So enough of my babbling, and hopefully we get more people on here live. But again, I know a lot of you do watch on the replay. So let's talk about today's topic, which is VideoAsk. Now, this is an interesting tool. It's a company. It's actually a part of Typeform. So some of you may be very familiar with Typeform. A lot of people use it for collecting data, also for quizzes, for surveys. It's a really fabulous tool. I personally have only experimented with it. It didn't have, I have other tools that do what it does. So I didn't see the logic in paying for another tool when I have similar options. I know there is a lot more I could probably do with it. I just haven't had the need. But VideoAsk is something they released, I'm thinking about a year and a half ago, definitely within, I think, the last 2 years. I learned about it through a fellow tribe member who used it pretty extensively in some of his SLO offers. So he was doing some low-cost workshops to get people into his world. And he would use this tool to not only engage with people thinking about buying his offer, but also on onboarding. And that's one of the things I'm really going to start diving into with VideoAsk right now. So let's dive into looking at VideoAsk so you can understand a little bit more about the concept. So the concept of VideoAsk is, you've probably seen very often, especially on people's sales pages, or if you're using some kind of SaaS tool, there'll be a little bubble in the lower right-hand corner. And there are a number of different tools that you can use, like Help Scout is one. I think Zendesk is another, where you can type a message to their help desk, their support area, and ask questions. And that is super good. Absolutely shown to improve conversions on a sales page if you can have somebody there to answer questions that people have. VideoAsk takes this up to another level because it's video. And we're going to talk. You don't have to do video when you're responding to this, but you, as the person behind the sales page, the membership site, the whatever, you are on video. So the first thing of all of this is especially important is if you are the type of entrepreneur that is a personal brand specifically, and you're offering courses and memberships and coaching and all these things, seeing your face on your website or on the sales page immediately starts to build that connection with your potential student, member, client, right? So video becomes that thing that kind of breaks down that wall, right? They talk about the fourth wall on TV, where the characters are actually talking to you, literally pretending like they're talking to you on the screen. That's kind of what VideoAsk does. And it helps with that engagement. But even more so, you can use it for a number of different things that continually reinforce that connection with you. So having seen it in action by using somebody else, I jumped on it right away. And I can show you, let me show you really quickly, because I'm going to show you this because I'm going to talk about the mistakes I made. So I made some mistakes when I first did it. I really, really did. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to play it, but if you look in the lower right-hand screen, you see that I have, this is on my homepage. It says, "Hi, how can I help you?" Well, that was awesome. But the problem is, my intention was that when people came to my website, I wanted to direct them to content that they might be looking for. So I started asking a number of questions, and I was also kind of using it as a screening process, because for example, I don't do done for you services. So if somebody said they were looking for done for you services, I wanted to say, I honestly don't do that. But here are the things that I do offer. So the mistake that I made, number one, I gave them too many options. And I really did. Again, I thought that I was helping direct them to the right content by saying, are you looking for one-to-one coaching? Are you looking for some kind of group coaching? Are you looking to do a done with you? I had too many options. And if they clicked an option and then I kind of responded to them, the other mistake I made is I wasn't collecting their name and email address. And the third mistake I made was I wasn't actively asking them to respond to me. So I'm going to show you how I changed this when I did it on my sales page. So I don't have that sales page up. I realized now I think I should have probably had the sales page up so you could see it. So hang on a second. Let's go back over here. And I'm going to get rid of that lower third. And I think I'm going to, maybe I'm going to hide my name, because you know who I am by now. So you can see the screens completely. So let me see if I can pull up that sales page. Technically, it's supposed to be redirecting right now, but I noticed, oh yeah, it is. It's redirecting. So I'm going to have to pop into Kajabi and get the page so you can see it. And the interesting thing is, of course, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can add this to your Kajabi site as well. Oh, this is just so you know that when you redirect using deadline funnels, it even redirects it when you're working in Kajabi and you try and get to your sales page. So I'm going to have to get to the sales page internally. Okay, we should be good here in a second. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so it's loaded. Okay, there we go. So you can see I did the video ask on this sales page down here. And I just made it super simple. This time, all I said was, have you got a question? If you have one, go ahead and choose an option. And they could either send me a video, they could send me an audio message, or they could type a message. And that worked great, because I gave them just 3 options to ask a question. So if somebody didn't want to go on camera, they didn't have to. They could have just typed their question, or they could have just recorded their audio. And I didn't try and play directing them where to go. I just simply said, hey, if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, but if I click on it, hey, this is Deanna. and I'm here to answer any questions that you might have about the Kajabi Flight Crew Club. And so if you are looking for an answer, you have a specific question, or just want to clarify something, go ahead and choose one of the options. You can either send me a video. I'm just going to stop it because I don't know if you could hear it, but it was 30 seconds. And then I said you have the 3 options, and they could click reply and then respond. And then that response came to me in my email inbox, which was great. There's also some zaps you can set up, like you can have it notify you if you use Slack. You can set it up that it sends, the Slack bot will send you a message and say, hey, you have a response to your video ask. So this was by far much better and easier to use, easier for them, and not as confusing. So let me show you. So once again, VideoAsk. This is my account. And I'm going to go back to the inbox. And you can see here, this was a response I got from somebody. I'm going to show you. I also used VideoAsk to do an email, in an email. And I'm going to show you that in a second. So I'm going to show you an example of exactly how I did it. So this is one I recorded. This is just a test one. I recorded this morning. When you record, it's super easy. You simply say you want to start a new video ask, and it gives you the button to start recording. You record, you stop the recording, then it asks you, it lets you review it to make sure you want to do it, or it gives you the option to do it over again. Then it asks you, do you want to put some text on it? So like in this case, I put some text and I said, have questions? And then the message was simply the same thing. And then you can see over here on the right, how would you like to answer? Video, audio, or text? And that is, of course, for the viewer. So you can add more video steps. Now, depending on what it is, I would kind of discourage you from doing it, because this was a mistake I made with my website. I gave them too many steps. I don't think anybody wanted to go through all of those steps. You can adjust your settings, and now you can connect to tools. So you can connect it to Google Analytics, your Tag Manager, your Facebook Pixel. So it's got some integrations down here. You know, obviously there's not a direct to Kajabi, but that's a pretty simple Zapier Zap to set up to capture. So you're going to see that one of the options is that you ask them to give you their contact information. So you can set that up very easily in Zapier to capture that information and put it into Kajabi or any email marketing. So look, they've got, see, they mentioned MailChimp, but it also says it's via Zapier. So pretty much the integrations are through Zapier. I do have, like I mentioned, I have it connected to Slack. I don't see where it is. That maybe I did that as a, I might have done that as a Zap. So there's integrations anyway. Let's pop back over here. Connect to your tools. That's what we just did. Adjust the settings. Now, this is the key part. This is the options to share and embed once you've recorded your video ask. Here you can see right here, you could share on social media, but there are links. There is email. I'm going to show you how I did that one also. And there's widgets, and there's embed. And these types of embed code and even the widget code typically work on any website where you can put content. You could put code in a custom code box, and because it's HTML. In this case, it's an iframe code. So it's the same thing as like if you were embedding a YouTube video in your site, whether you're using Kajabi or otherwise. So the widget is the one that I typically prefer. And the widget, as you can see, is that little window that pops up. The little circle is super nice, but it is kind of small. The one So then this one is kind of a square, kind of a rectangle. Okay, so it's kind of like landscape mode on your phone. This is the one that I like typically. So it's more the, portrait for your phone. And then there's also this little one that goes across the bottom. Wow, that's way too small. So I wouldn't do that. Now, I tell you, I share the mistakes that I made with you as well. So this was the widget option that I chose. I did not check it on mobile. And the truth was, on mobile, it was kind of obnoxious. It annoyed me. So that's one that what I might suggest, you have the option to make it dismissible. And out of the interest of being fair to mobile users, I think I should have made it dismissible, because then they can click that little link. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. And it's okay. Oops, we don't want to record, so we're gonna go back. There we go. I think I would have done dismissible, just for mobile users to make it not quite as obnoxious. But let's say we want to do this this widget, this rectangle. So what I'm going to show you is we are going to click on the widget and then get the code. And so this is that HTML custom code that we need to add to our Kajabi page. I'm going to show you some other options, but this is the Kajabi page. So I'm going to copy this code. And I just have a test page here. This is one of the new Kajabi sales page templates. And I go to settings, custom code, and I stick it in this JavaScript code box. So I'm just going to paste it and save it. Okay. Now, this is ironic because it worked beautifully with my sales page, and somebody else told me they did this and it didn't work. Lovely. Don't you just love live video? Okay. So this is supposed to go with the body text. So I do know what the one option was. So let's do this. I'm going to come back and I'm going to go into my sales page sections. I'm going to go to the bottom and I'm going to add a section at the very bottom that is going to be a custom code box. Custom code. So you see it's down here at the bottom. Click add. Go into the custom code box. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to paste in our code. Now, the other thing that I always prefer to do is, we don't want that big white box there at the bottom. Saving. Up, and there I am. Mouth open. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so let's go back here and redo this, and there I am. Okay, so there's something I must have done on my site to have VideoAsk always pop up in that custom code in the settings part, but never fear, you can just add the custom code box at the bottom. And again, you can kind of make it, we want that whole section, custom code. We want that whole thing pretty much. We want to go ahead and not have that huge open spot there at the bottom. Okay, yeah, so there it works perfectly. You don't have that. We don't basically hid the whole custom code section. by making the padding 0 at the top and the bottom. And there I am. Okay, so that is how you would add it to your sales page. To do a website on your homepage, I always use landing pages for my website. So when you see, did I get rid of it? Sorry, let's get to the right one. When I did this on my website, my homepage, it's because this is a landing page. And that is, and it's loading slowly, which is not always good. So that's how I would add it to a Kajabi page. Now, the other thing that I mentioned is you have the option for email. And again, this is what I did during the launch, was I sent out an email with this VideoAsk, a link to this VideoAsk, inviting people to ask any questions. And it worked super well. So what I did is I'm sending it to multiple people. So this will allow me to copy this code and embed it directly in my email marketing. So I copied that code. And in Kajabi, I simply went to my email. So my marketing, email campaigns, new campaign, an email broadcast. Just so you know, I always use the classic editor. That's my preference. I happen to believe that I get better deliverability with that one, but this should work with any of the email templates. So I'm just going to call this one VideoAsk, and we're going to create it. And I'm going to pretend I'm going to send it to 21 people. So same thing right here. Now I'm going to go to the source code box, and it gives me a warning, of course. And I am going to paste this code right in here. And so, you know, I get these questions all the time. How do I embed a video in an email? And the truth is you can't do that. I did do, and I have YouTube video where I show you 3 different ways that you can, quote, embed a video in an email. And it's basically, in this case, it created a little mini GIF. So it's taking the first 4 or 5 seconds of my recording, and it's playing it over and over again. It just creates a GIF. And then when they click on it, it sends them to a landing page where the VideoAsk recording is, and they can reply to it. So that was the other way that I used this particular tool. And I would do that a lot in the future. I think I might even, I'm planning on doing an email to people who didn't buy during the launch to say, well, hey, why didn't you buy? Maybe I'll do it with a VideoAsk. I think that might be pretty cool. Okay. So coming over here real quick and just showing you. So I just showed you adding it to Kajabi. And I just showed you how to add it to an email. And that would work in any email service provider. I said that already, but the truth is it will, as long as you can embed HTML code. And I'm positive they all give you that option. So that would work great. Now, many of you know that I also am a big fan of Searchy, and it is the Searchy hubs specifically. I should have been very clear that this is adding it to a Searchy hub, because it works the same way if you want to engage with people and contact or interact with people on that hub. But here's the beauty of it, and what I would also consider is that's for member onboarding. Because I didn't tell you one of the beauty of VideoAsk is that you can also do screen sharing. So you could actually do a recording of a tour of your hub and then have it available in that little bubble for your members to be able to go through to get acclimated and the onboarding to your hub. So let's take a look at that. Now, it is not quite as easy as the Kajabi one, because at this point, Searchy doesn't really have sort of custom code sections that you can use. I mean, you can make certain sections and they have a certain template for it, but this is the best way to add it. So here we have a hub. In fact, this is the whole hub. This will, at some point, might be a new product. It's a membership tech hub. And you can see down here, I have a VideoAsk right here. And again, I would do this more as a member onboarding tool. It's not necessarily, or a welcome, it would be a welcome and an onboarding. It's not a sales, hey, do you have a sales question? This is more member onboarding. So in that Searchy hub, we can use something called the Google Tag Manager to be able to have a third-party tool like this VideoAsk, or other people have used something like Help Scout or user guiding to do their onboarding. And you can do this in a Google Tag Manager. So again, this one's pretty techy. I'm going to try and break it down as simple as possible, starting with what in the world is Google Tag Manager. So it's a way that you can put code on this Google Tag Manager and have it reflect on your site without embedding the code on the site. So Google kind of becomes a container to hold the code on your website. And the advantage of this, and a lot of times people use this for their Google Analytics code, for any SEO type tracking codes, because the more code that you typically add to a site, especially like a WordPress site, it can slow your site down. So using Google Tag Manager, Google kind of acts as a intermediary container to hold the code, but it's reflected on your site, but it doesn't slow it down. Just like Google always does, this is free. You all have access to this, especially if you have Google Analytics already set up. You can use it really very easily. So let me show you. I'm going to show you the steps that I used. So you can start with they call it a container name under an account. I went ahead for my own purposes. I created a separate account from my Kajabi site, and I called it a Searchy Hub. So I created an account named Searchy Hub, and then within that account, I created a container. And in my case, the container is an individual Searchy Hub. So my plan is, as I add Searchy Hubs, each one is going to be a separate container, because there would probably be, in using VideoAsk as an example, different VideoAsk for each one. So what I did is I created this container, and it is the Searchy Hub account, membership tech hub. And I can show you real quick. Let's create a new container. So I'm going to create a new container and call that new container. And what you want to do is you want to say it's for the web. Now, it immediately gives you this code, and you might be tempted, as I was, to go, oh, this is the code that I need to put in Searchy, but it's not. So we're just going to say okay and skip that. So now that I'm in here, let me just jump back because I don't want to get too confusing. Let's go over to the Membership Tech Hub one so I can show you from here. So once that was done, this is what's important. If you can see where I'm slowly circling my cursor, is GTM W8L blah, blah, blah. So that's what's important. That is what we need. So now from this standpoint, then we needed to go ahead and make sure that we create that tag. So I'm going to I created that tag. This was the configuration. And this was the other important part, is the trigger that we want to set up. And the trigger that I added, I'll remove it, and then I'm going to go back and re-add it, is all pages, and then click add and save. Okay, now remember, this code up here is the important part. And I went back to Searchy. I went to where I customized my hub. This is the top level of my hub. I clicked on tracking, Google Tag Manager, and I pasted that container ID into this box, scrolled down, and I saved it. It's already saved, so there's no save button. So I saved it. Then I went back to Google Tag Manager. I click Submit and Publish. And then it just asks you a version description, because if you change something all along, as of July 1st, 2021, I updated this. I might want to put it in here, July 1, 2021, update. I updated it because X. In most cases, you're just going to say continue. And it's going to say, I'm publishing your version. And that then is what displayed the VideoAsk on the Searchy Hub. I know, it was complicated. I'm going to write these steps up with some screenshots and have that available. If that is something that you would like because you're using Searchy Hubs or you're interested in it, go ahead and put in the comments checklist, and I'll make sure I can get that to you. So just wanted to let you know that. Okay. So I just shared with you the tool that I used on the flash sale, the VideoAsk. Keep it simple if that's your use for it, where it's simply, do you have questions? Let me know. Give them the option to respond by video, audio, or text. Text meaning a written message. Ask for their consent to collect their email address, and then you can add them to your email list. At the very least, then you can respond directly to them. And also keep in mind, you can embed in an email as well and do it that way. You can also use it on Searchy. You could use it on a WordPress site. It's just pretty much available as anywhere where HTML code can be embedded. And, don't do what Deanna did the first time out, and maybe don't make it too complicated for people. So again, my mistake on the homepage is I was trying to direct them to the correct content, but I wasn't creating any engagement. And I believe it was probably confusing. I got quite a few people that responded by choosing an option, but that really didn't help them any, I don't think, and it didn't really help me either. So that is going to be something that I change as well. So if you would like to try VideoAsk, I just posted a link, and that is a referral link, but this is what is interesting. I share this with you as well. If you like VideoAsk and then you're thinking, I want to be an affiliate, they don't really have a set affiliate program, but what you can do is each account, I should have gone over the pricing, so I'll go over the pricing. Each account, you have a certain number of minutes per month of video asks, and that is the video asks that you create and the responses that you receive are counted. So if you have a 30-second video ask and somebody sends you a 5-minute response, you got 5.5 minutes used up. So there is a free version that gives you just 20 minutes a month. Hey, if you're just starting out, that may be plenty. You can have up to 3 steps. You can have conditional logic. Look, you can collect payments. There's Zapier integration. You can do appointment scheduling. Ooh, that's new. That's something I wasn't aware of. And video, text, transcription, and captions. Right now, I am using the Grow plan. I'll go show you here monthly, 100 minutes of video. You can hide the branding. That's the other thing is over here. It's not white labeled. Over here, you can partially hide it. So you can see all these different options. But the point I want to make is once you do a referral, you get extra minutes per month. So even if you were on the free plan, if you can get some referrals, you can earn extra minutes per month on your account. So it's not a standard affiliate program where there's a commission, but there is an option to get additional benefits on your account. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed VideoAsk. I really do think it's a fantastic tool. Creates a lot of engagement, creates that personal connection. And hey, by the way, whether you're watching on the replay or you're watching live, go ahead and post any topics you'd like to see me cover in more in-depth, like more Searchy hubs information, ways I use Searchy in my business, because we use it a lot. Let me tell you, it's a huge value add for our business and for my members and for my clients, and it's really a fantastic tool. I'm happy to talk more about that. And there's always Kajabi, and there's always new things. And I just saw an email. In fact, in 15 minutes, I am getting a sneak peek of some updates to the Kajabi platform. And next week, I believe on the 8th, there will also be some updates. Also, July 8th, if you have not purchased and you're not a member of Kajabi right now and you've been thinking about it, write down July 8th in your calendar, and I'll be able to share more details with you about that really soon. But it is an opportunity to get started at an unbelievable price, and I have some special bonuses for people that sign up under my affiliate link. So we'll find out more. Oh, Svava is here. She wants to learn more about Searchy. Yeah, it's a great tool. I mean, I always have to be careful now when I say Searchy, because there's really kind of 2 parts to Searchy. There is the part about the video and all of the fantastic things that you can do, and now there is Searchy Hubs, which is not the same thing. It uses Searchy in creating a platform, but it is really kind of a different thing, and you can use one or the other or both. Well, actually, when you use Searchy Hubs, you've got to use Searchy, so it works that way. Anyway, fantastic. I am so glad you guys joined me. And until next week, happy 4th of July. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.